Fuck. We have to talk about something important. It's about your LinkedIn, veterans and military spouse and service member type folks. We have to talk. The other day, I had the pleasure of being able to drive down to the Scott Air Force Base area, and I spent some time teaching a seminar and doing a bunch of one-on-one LinkedIn profile reviews. And folks, they were largely pretty good, but there was one thing that literally every single profile that I looked at had in common. That was wrong. That was wrong. Not just wrong, it was a missed opportunity of the highest order. So I want to share with all of you, service member folks, veteran folks, military spouse folks, and really anyone who's using LinkedIn, that most of you are missing a huge opportunity on that platform. And I'm going to tell you all about it here in a minute. But before I do that, connect with me on LinkedIn. Come on, connect with me. You know, you want to hear more of this fun stuff. Friends, if you don't do what I'm about to tell you, you're going to miss out on opportunities. You're going to miss out on opportunities for jobs. You're going to miss out on followership if you're trying to build your platform of influence. You'll miss out on business to business opportunities, sales opportunities, connection opportunities. And I'm talking about, of course, your LinkedIn headline. And that is the chunk of text that appears under your name. Now, the common mistake, the error, is to not use that precious real estate to its absolute fullest extent. And folks, I should say, if you're watching right now, feel free to throw questions in the comments, and I will make sure that I get to them here at the end of my pontification. The biggest mistake was not used real estate. LinkedIn defaults by telling you to put that you are job title at employer, which is, I don't know why they do that. They've started to encourage people to say more, but it defaults to title at employer. And that doesn't tell the whole story. You're more than that, right? That doesn't, excuse me. Say that again. It doesn't tell the whole story. You are more than that, and you give more than that. And your potential employers or business partners or customers deserve and need to know what it is that you do, how you do it, who you do it for, and the extent to which, and how you do it. That is such important real estate because that headline pops up underneath every single thing, underneath your name on every single thing that you do on LinkedIn. When you do an original post, your profile picture, your name, and the first chunk of your headline, the slug of your headline. I think that's called a slug. I don't know. I got a question already. Drink water. Darn right, Lucas. Stay hydrated. That's advice number one. Always, you know, take care of yourself. Or are you talking to me? Do I sound hoarse? Does coffee count? There we go. I appreciate it, man. Next to everything that you do, you have your profile picture, your name, and under your name, your headline. The first portion of your headline is there on original content, on your blog posts, on your replies, on your easy apply. It's at the top of your profile. It's next to everything. And if you aren't treating that as precious real estate, like an elevator pitch, then you are wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're missing an opportunity. Because if you are accountant at ABC company, that doesn't necessarily allude to your scope and your scale. Scope and scale is really important because I could say that I am an accountant at ABC company, and that could mean small business, 5 employees, $1.5 million in revenue max. Or it could mean that I am a head of corporate accounts payable. There's a huge difference in scope and scale between those things. And if I'm hoping to get employed or I'm hoping to work with somebody or have somebody contract with me, they need to know my capabilities of scope and scale. All right, so what do you write in your headline? Just knock this thing over. Making a mess. Got another comment here. Took your advice and changed my headline to Disney. Looking forward to the LinkedIn ride to get there. Dude, this guy's amazing. All right, so Lee is he's about to transition and he's singularly focused on, like, he wants to work at Disney. Period. Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. That's what he wants to do because it is a happy place and he wants to be happy and bring happiness to people. I think that's awesome. So I gave him we were working on his headline and I was like, why don't you just say, I want to work at Disney? Put that in your headline. Let's see how that works. Tag Disney every day. Just, we'll keep connecting you. If anybody out there knows someone who works at Disney, let's get Lee hooked up. Seems like a really nice guy. And he knows who he wants to work for. So why put anything else in your headline? But for everybody else, a good place to start, a formula, and I wouldn't, by all means, not just do the formula and leave it that way, is in that first sentence, that elevator pitch, I help blank accomplish blank through or by blank. You can do it in the first person, I help, or you could say helping. I help enterprise corporations, or I help international entities leverage their networks to maximize sales through personalized blah, 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 something or other. I help what size company, what kind of companies? I help small businesses. I help small businesses improve their targeted outreach, their targeted marketing. So who? Small businesses. What do I help them do? I help them improve their marketing, their marketing, their targeted customer outreach through or by paid Facebook advertising. I help blank accomplish blank through or by blank. It's easy. And then you can go from there. And like I said, you can do helping small businesses maximize their helping small businesses improve their email blast targeting, or their email pipeline, email acquisition pipeline, any of those things. What do you do? Who do you do it for? And how do you do it? To what extent? What sets you apart? That's your elevator pitch. And there were a lot of people when I was doing those one-on-ones the other day where I was like, let's say I'm the CEO of the company that you want to work for, that I'm the head cheese at ABC company, and you want to work for my company. And I meet you in an elevator and I say, oh, you want to work for me? Why should I hire you? If you don't have not just a canned answer, but if you're not able to have a convincing, genuine conversation, or put out two sentences that don't sound forced or over rehearsed, if you aren't comfortable saying two sentences about what it is that you do and how you do it, golly, you got some thinking to do. You got some things to ruminate upon, friends. And that similar approach should be given to, and that same amount of thoughtful consideration should be given to that first chunk of space in your headline. After that, then you can throw in keywords. You can throw in certifications, especially if you're in tech, if you're in IT, network, coding, engineering, development, any of that sort of stuff. You can throw those in there. You can throw a little personality in there and separate them by one of those vertical lines. Press shift / get a vertical line in there. So let's say I'm that marketing guy, empowering small businesses to reach their target consumers most effectively through targeted Facebook ads. It's a little wordy, but it's a living document. You tweak it over time, right? So I have that space, vertical line, space. And by the way, I'm capitalizing these like I'm writing a book. So any word longer than 2 characters long, I'm going to capitalize, generally speaking. So I have that first slug, vertical line, and then the next part, USAF veteran. Okay, or just veteran. Army veteran, USMC veteran, however you want to put it. We'll talk about it formatting here in a minute. Then another vertical line. Let's say you have a certification that's relevant to your search. Google Social Analytics Certified, something like that. Hootsuite, social, whatever their certification is. That stuff's relevant. You can put that in there. It's not super important that that's in there. It definitely has to be in your profile and in your certifications and licensure. And I would say pretty much only do that if it is like a flagship certification. Like what's the IT one? TCP/IP something or other. I don't know. Something like that. Gene says, Adam, I feel it's critical to identify what you want to do beyond the service in order to craft your focus elevator pitch so you can hit the mark. Absolutely. Yeah, 100% agreed. I had somebody sit down with me, and they were in civilian clothes, but I could just tell they were either a colonel or like a brigadier general or something. And I said, and I'm not like making fun at all. I said, what do you want to do? What do you hope to go into? He's like, well, I'm good at leadership. I want to lead people, maybe like a senior director or CEO thing and really help build something. And I was like, what do you want to do though? CEO that's a job title. Well, I want to be a leader. I want to lead people. I'm good at leading people. Okay, leader isn't a job title in the civilian world. So what do you want to do? And he just paused for a second. He's like, I don't know. Something to ruminate on before you separate in the next couple of months. And I didn't want to discourage the guy, but leader's not a job title. And if you put program manager at blank in your headline, you are selling yourself short. And you may think that I don't want to niche down too hard because I don't want to, cut myself off from an opportunity. You're not going to cut yourself off from an opportunity by niching a little further down than program manager at ABC company, account manager at ABC company, business developer at ABC company. You have a challenge if you're currently in the service because it's important that you're honest about what it is that you do. Let's say you currently do you're in public affairs for the military, and let's say you want to go into a public affairs position after the military. Well, that's an easy switch because you can say that you help enterprise-sized companies share their vision and mission with the blank through or by blank. Okay, easy peasy. But if you're in security forces and you want to go into marketing, then that's a different story. You have to niche out a little bit, find the commonalities. I talk about this in my book. I compare a marketing specialist with a munitions supplier. At a tactical level, they don't really have a lot in common. At the most strategic level, well, they're both need to be alive and breathing to do the job. So you got to find the spot in between that is the most targeted that they have in common, and then express that in a way that is, I help who accomplish what, by what, in what way, how. I keep saying it over and over, but it's so important. Michael says, I try to teach this every time I do my one-on-one profile reviews. Yeah, man. Angela says, I've been in so many networking events where 30-plus year retirees say that they want to be in a place that feels like they're part of a family, and that's it. I'm like, what? Oh, man, we could have a long conversation about that. Guess what? None of your civilian employers are a family. And you don't want them to be. No. Bad. Yeah. I'm like, what? Yeah, you and me both, Angela. Yeah. So your headline, your LinkedIn headline is the most important real estate on your LinkedIn profile. It is as important, maybe even more important than your profile picture. Shows up next to everything you do. And it is basically giving your elevator pitch for you while you are signed in or not, while you are awake or asleep, whether you are at the computer or you're at the gym. It is a 24/7 expression of your elevator pitch. Do not waste the opportunity to use that space. Use that space to do more than just the default, you are blank at blank. What do you do? How do you do it? Who do you do it for? And I cannot stress enough not to use fluff words. Experienced, that is fluffy. Don't do experienced. Seasoned, don't do it. With a proven, demonstrated history of, don't do it. Don't do that. Those words aren't serving you. They're not differentiating you. Don't use fluff words. Also, don't go to a thesaurus and find the most pompous, long, impressive sounding words you can find, like sagacious. I know a guy who used that in his executive summary for his first post-service resume. Don't be like me. Interesting. Interesting. It's a short one today. I just wanted to express that. Use your headline properly. And if you want me to review your headline, all you have to do is ask. I love workshopping headlines. I love it. It's an exciting thing for me. That's why I sat down for like 3-4 hours and just did. I spent most of the time on headlines. Hey, if you want to learn more from me, friends, just ask. Learn more about LinkedIn stuff. You want me to work on your headline, just ask. Or, you could always purchase LinkedIn Mastery for veterans and transitioning service members from this tiny little website, Amazon.com. It's a good book. I think you should buy it. If you haven't yet, and you know what? Buy it for a friend. If you work for a veteran serving organization and you want to buy it in bulk and hand it out to transitioning service members, talk to me. Give you a bulk discounts while I still have stock of my own. Otherwise, just grab it from Amazon. Makes a great Christmas present. Appreciate all of you very, very much. Scott says, this is such valuable information. The headline is very, very valuable real estate. You bet. And I think I stole the term real estate from you, Scott. That's Scott Rather. He's the man. He is the man. He's the man who so kindly invited me down and allowed me the opportunity to speak with the service members, the upcoming transitioners in the Scott Air Force Base area. He's doing things the right way. Scott is. If you are working in a TAP program or any sort of transition program, and you want to know how to do it the right way, Scott's doing it the right way. Talk to Scott Rather. Connect with him. We'll do it either way. He's an inspiring guy. He's one of the most important voices in this space. He really knows his stuff. Okay, friends, I appreciate you for your time. That's it. That's all I got. I'm going to let you get back to your Friday. Love you. Bye.